Oh my God, I love you. And I just came out of nowhere. Sparkles.
Your energies. Are you going to be in Sacramento?
Yes. Another hug.
No problem.
I love it.
Benita.
Good morning.
You going to sit up front
Where would you like me?
over there?
Yeah.
So beautiful.
So do you.
You're Benita's mother.
Bettina loves
Bettina. Oh, yeah. Bettina loves you.
Well, it's my brother Tony. This is Marilyn.
Hi.
Tony.
You're so cute, Marilyn. I appreciate you and how much you kind of just are vulnerable to the people.
It's important.
I know, but it's your unfolding and awakening. I'm glad we're friends.
Oh, I know. It's so good to see all of you. And I thought I would start, first of all, with introducing the ZaZar team. They are really, truly up here to hold the energy of me while I channel. ZaZar's more and more of a big presence as I am able to clear out my own debris and my channel expands. I'm realizing the hugeness of ZaZar and who he is and why he is here with us on Earth. So I have a team, beautiful. My wonderful wife of 28 years is next to me. And without her, this would not be possible. We have this beautiful sanctuary, 50 acres. Jen is our cohort in this ZaZar team. She lives right next door and on the sanctuary. And so together we have this beautiful place with cabins and we do retreats and soul searching. And together people come for a silent retreat at the cabins or they come for a big retreat that we have every summer that is mind-blowing. We have lots of ETs on the property. We have contact at night, especially. We have crafts coming right over our house. You can see them. Many people have seen fully manifested ETs. Sometimes they come in the cabins. And Sasquatch loves to come in the middle of the night to the tenters, especially, and disturb them, although everybody that comes seems to be okay with such visits. Actually, we've had contact night where we were going out into the forest because we saw a light in the forest after we saw a ship what looked like landed, and they ran right into the physical body of Sasquatch. So it's quite a magical place. There's portals on the property to the cosmos, to Sedona, to Mount Shasta. It's beautiful. Let me tell you a little bit quickly about myself. I have been a clinical psychologist all of my life, since adulthood. And although in my family, I think I started early. And then 9 years ago, ZaZar came, and he shook my world. I didn't even know if I believed in channeling. I didn't know if I believed the truth of beings from another place that could come through a human. But after 1 to 2 years, it was clear to me that this being was real. The information was not possibly anything I could claim. It made me extremely humble. I worked on my own debris clearing so I could have enough integrity and grace to channel him. But a little bit before that, I was interested in around 2009 in making contact with extraterrestrials because I thought it was quite silly that humans were so separated from our cosmic home. And I was in the dentist office getting numb, about ready to have an awakening, when this music came over their loudspeaker that sounded like music from space, is all I can describe it. And I said to the tech, you guys rock. I mean, your music is incredible. And she goes, that's not our music. That's not our music. The head dentist ran through the hallway saying, what is going on? It sounds like a spaceship landing. I kid you not. That's what he said. And the tech said, I don't know why I'm saying this. Now remember, this is 2009 with the flip phone. You couldn't send pictures. You couldn't send music. You certainly couldn't project on the speaker systems. So she said, can you look at your phone? And she was shaking. I said, sure. I opened my purse, looked at the phone, and the music was coming from my phone, being projected on the entire speaker system. Nobody to this day can tell me how that was possible. On the phone was a picture of a spaceship with hieroglyphics going in a column. And I said, holy cow. Now, I didn't say this. I'm sitting in the chair reading a book on making contact. And I had just come to protocols for making contact, and the phone rings. And it was projected, and I'm like, oh my God. Diane picked me up, and I said, you're not going to believe what happened in the dentist office. And she said, what happened? Did you lose a bunch of teeth or something? And I said, no, this music came from my phone. This is what it looked like. And she goes, okay, honey, that's really nice. But then we were with...
Took a while.
We were with her children at a Friendly's eating ice cream on her birthday, and the phone in the middle of Friendly's rings again. I flip it open. There's a picture of the spaceship, the same music, which is heavenly. And on the side, it says birth, and it was her birthday. And, of course, her son was thrilled, and her daughter said, we have to leave right now. This is really, you guys are into some weird things. To this day, she still believes that. Well, so it happened 2 more times. To make a long story short, I took it to Verizon. I had the dates and times. I said, who is coming in here? The guy was pretty interested. He had long hair and was kind of far out. I was relieved he was the tech. He took it back for 20 to 30 minutes, came back out, and he said, ma'am, first of all, we don't have the technology to have anybody send you this picture or the music. I looked at everything in your record, and he goes, we have records on people they don't even know. There was nothing that came in. There was no downloads. There was nothing that came into your phone. He said, all I can tell you is this was not human-made. At that point, I said, okay. We began to do contact. We went on Dr. Greer's expeditions 7 times, came back home and said, let's establish our own contact community based on the heart. And we started having lots of contact. Then ZaZar came out 9 years ago. Little did I know that this beautiful, beautiful being who you have, I think, did they have pictures of?
You can probably hold it up.
So to give you a beautiful insight as to ZaZar, when he came out after about 2 years, I saw him perfectly manifest, and I knew what he looked like. A couple of years later, Diane and Jen, unbeknownst to me, hired an artist in Europe who digitally paints. She goes interdimensionally to everybody who has these guides, these galactic guides. She goes to them and paints them for people. So they commissioned her to paint ZaZar. She went interdimensionally, met ZaZar physically, painted him. They gave me the painting. It was exactly how I saw ZaZar. And so these are the coincidences that started happening, call them synchronicities, that started happening. When ZaZar's around, they are just happening a lot. Don't be surprised, some of you, if he doesn't show up in your dream time. Oftentimes when we have these events, people text and go, ZaZar came to me at night, or he came to me in the morning, or I heard his voice. He's quite omnidimensional at this point. So, and he's here to help us. He is here to help us. And his mission is to be with a being who has absolutely no ego, to be with a being who has no investment other than in us. And it's extraordinary because we humans have a lot of work to do, which is one of the reasons he's here, to help us realize one thing, as Alan pointed out. We have this magnificent light field, and in 20 years, our scientists will be able to measure it. We have this light field that's been so diminished by our current paradigm. And he is here to raise up. Believe me, when he comes out, which he will in a minute, you will hear him speak. But in between the words, he will be sending you vibrations. If you are open enough to receive his frequencies, you will be changed. My life has forever been changed. I'm a much better, nicer human being. He reminds me all the time in the shower in the morning. I said, can you leave me alone in the shower? And he's like, no, this is when you get kooky thoughts, and so I need to come in. He starts the day every day saying, waste not. And what does he mean by that? Do not waste today on anything but your mission. Do not waste it on spending your energy on things that don't count. Don't waste your energy on things that don't expand your own magnificence so that you can expand others. Waste not. And he often brings that up. He will never waste an opportunity for something grand to happen. I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen today. I never know. Makes me nervous a little bit, but no. So, listen to the vibrations, but he has so much information that is so important for us to know. So without further ado, ZaZar. Oh, he just nudged me. What started happening after ZaZar came out is I had incredible memories of being a little girl and with my biological father, who was an attorney. So he's very left brain on the one hand, but I only knew my father's right brain, if you want to put it that way. My father used to tell me all about UFOs, used to tell me all about that, and we'd go to fields, oat fields. He loved to go to the oat fields. And I remember the light coming down, and all of a sudden we were in a craft. And I have clear memories, and it was a children's craft, and he took me there. And later I realized that's where I really met ZaZar. And this was a children's, hundreds of human children. But then at what you might call recess, we got to play with ET children. I remember a particular Arcturian boy that we played. It was marvelous, the way they construct games as a child. But on this craft, we learned to keep our consciousness expanded. And we would sit in front of monitors and paint with our consciousness, and paintings would appear. We would sit and do music, create music with our consciousness, and we'd hear music on the screen. And this was, and I realized this is where we're headed as a human race, because most of the crafts are driven by ET consciousness. And so on the craft, I began to learn all these skills that the thing that happened was I'd be in line with all the little kids going back to Earth, and I'd be in my little saddle shoes and my little dress thinking, I'm going back where my consciousness has to shrink until I won't remember this. And it was always very sad. And then I'd be back playing in the yard, memories gone. And that was because there was no way a child could hold those memories. Now, I tell you this story because it sounds outrageous. And you hear so many stories of abductions. And ZaZar will tell you more about that later, what that was really about. But people have been so scared of all these realities we've been kept from. And I tell you that because some of you will be able to start having memories. And ZaZar goes, oh no, there are people coming who were even on the craft with you, who will have memories of, and age doesn't matter. You could be young or older, but it doesn't matter. And I want to be able to trigger that knowledge in you, that you, at dreams at night, you go to crafts or you go to other multidimensions and you learn wisdom. And this is absolutely important for the human race not to be scared anymore. We've been trapped. And so I bring this up because there was a craft for so many children on earth that they would keep this. And when it was safe, they would open up the truth about their own multidimensional beings. You all have them. This is the new world coming. This is the new world. And you are the creators of it. So let's hear from ZaZar. Oh, I tell you something right now. The energy in this room. I said this at the beginning of this whole expo. You know, all of this, by the way, is holographically being beamed to our craft. And so we get to see your energy fields. And so in the seeing of it, you are the answer to our prayers for the human race. Please know this. It's so exciting because Earth is in the photon belt, which your scientists call that, which means every 26,000 years it comes, so it's in direct alignment with your galactic sun and source sun. What that means is, and I'm talking, don't think about it. I always say to Marilyn, you think too much. You're very smart, but forget about smart. It doesn't work here. You have to feel the vibrations that you are in direct alignment with source sun, the galactic sun, and your own solar sun. And in this amazing diamond light comes into you. And so many of you have awakened. And what happens when you awaken, you spread your wings. And when you spread your wings, the receptor sites open that have been closed to receive this diamond light that is penetrating your planet. And this diamond light is especially light for the heart and the expansion of consciousness. And this is what's happening on the planet. This has been prophesied for eons in the cosmos, that Earth would wake up. At this particular time, you get to live an ascended life. In your soul matrix, you have many incarnations, thousands. But you have only a few ascended lives. What do I mean by that? Lives where you can, in one incarnation, move from one dimension to another. You can move from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. The fourth dimension is where many of you are at. But what's important is moving from the third to the fifth in one incarnation without having to die. Realize this is so special to be at this time where you can move your vibrations up. It is not a time or place. It's simply vibrational. And this is a tipping point. This is a tipping point because Earth has been shrouded by such debris and diminishment. And as you come into the light, you cannot believe what happens when a planet, especially one that has been in the dark, comes into the light. You can't believe what happens. Your planet Earth will look like a star. And as a result, the light from Earth will penetrate the galaxy and be a tipping point for your entire galaxy. Your galaxy is in the midst of ascension herself. And so you think, if you are mean to someone, if you judge someone, realize that is also a tipping point going back into the debris. But if you love someone, if you embrace someone, that is the tipping point to continue to move into the lighted new dawn of Earth. This is what is happening. And when Earth moves in a complete new dawn, the light that comes from Earth triggers something in your entire galaxy. And the galaxy moves up in light. And your galaxy, as it bursts into more light, begins to trigger other galaxies. And soon the whole universe is moving up in light to the degree that a universe can begin to co-create a new universe. You see, it's kind of important what you are up to. Because you know it's a tipping point and Earth is so important. You have forgotten that Earth is in a teeming life, cosmic home. And what you do affects so many out there. You don't even realize you affect so many right here. So I say to you, there is a craft above the whole expo. It is absolutely true. And I say to you, if I said, okay, you can be part of the tipping point simply by embracing someone. You can be part of the tipping point simply by embracing. And that embrace, we will take that embrace between humans and turn it into light and circle the planet with your embraced light. Would you embrace? Would you embrace?
Yes.
Okay, now. So we are going to embrace. So I want Diane and Jen to go down. Oh, I want to open so bad. But Marilyn's eyes have to adjust. Okay. Something is going on with the microphone. I feel a little something. Okay. So now, would you go down there? I know how to. Good.
Marilyn,
So they are going to embrace you. Stand up, everyone. And you turn and embrace somebody beside you once they are embraced. But you are going to wait for them to embrace the first one in the row. And then you embrace. But if you're excited, go ahead and embrace. Jen, quickly. Now, when you are embraced by Jen or Di, you turn to embrace. Everybody embracing. This is the tipping point right here. And if you run out of the people around you, go find someone else. Feel the embrace turning into the light. And feel the light going into the heart of someone who needs your light embrace. This is humans at their best. Humans at their best. You are giving light to your earth. It is as simple as this. I like how people are scattering about to hug. Don't be shy. You are giving your light across the globe. And when you feel satiated, you can find your seats once again.
That's why I called you the cosmic Amma.
And this cosmic Amma is going to give you a big embrace.
Right.
So I say to you, see, I love to hear humans. It is like more beautiful than cackling hens. It is so, we think the cackling hens, we love to hear the cackling. We have tape recorded all of your animals, all of your plant noises, tree sounds, and we play it on the craft all the time. We probably hear more of the sounds of earth than you do. So I want to say to you, how was that?
Amazing.
Yes. You are just in your magnificence. This seems so simple to just embrace, but you know, I tell you something, with everything happening on earth, there is so much chaos, but don't worry about it. Keep off the news, because I'm telling you, it will dampen that which you have aspired to rise. And so the earth is in dualism, polarization, separation, and that is What cracks this egg? You have been in an egg, looking at the wall of the egg, thinking this is reality. It is cracking, so you can reach up and realize how reality is so multidimensional and beautiful, amazing, magical, mystical. You are cracking the egg, and the pieces of the egg that fall at your feet are going to be what you use to sculpt a brand new world. This is you. I am here because I see your light. I saw every one of your light before you even came. We can't do that, you know. And to see your light, to see it, and to see how it wants to escape the gravitational pull of being like this and become, as Alan knows so well, magnificent. And so listen, you got the choice when a sentient being of a planet, this is true all over the universe, when they become sentient beings, the conscious beings of the planet, they have self-consciousness. They begin to be conscious of self. And in that they have a choice of free will. So self-consciousness comes with free will. On Earth, there is a little mix-up on how to use free will. And it became a self-engorged culture, no longer more of service to the higher cause. And so that built in a whole paradigm of survival versus thrival. You got in survival mode. You got into survival mode where you were trying to find a way to survive the separation, the dualism, the polarization, and you got in little circles and everybody else was bad and you're good. And then you started having your culture dictate to you what was good. You have to be beautiful, smart, this and that. And now everybody is trying to find artificial intelligence. You think it's about artificial intelligence out here. You're trying to find artificial beauty, artificial intelligence, so you can be good enough because you are riddled with good enough themes. Why? Because you're trying to survive. Now you in this room are going to change Earth into thrival. Getting out of the separation paradigm. Separation from your cosmic home. Separation from your own soul. Separation from source. You have to go to very religious sources to tell you there is source. What is this? I am not saying religion is bad, but there are parts of it that say you are bad. Come to us and we will help you go to the good and hear the rules. And what happens is you lose your sovereignty. You lose your sovereignty of being so magnificent, you know harm, violence from peace and love. You all have this in this room. Don't you dare let anybody take this away from you. You know in your hearts, but your hearts have been so vulnerable. And so you have lost the sense of being able to use your heart to guide you. And in this separation, you have come to little tiny places trying to be safe, trying to survive. And so your ability to thrive, to allow your magnificent light to rise. Listen, this is a time where you are turning on your magnificent light, which is your birthright, where you will have free will to decide exactly how you are going to use your magnificent light for the mission of ascension on earth, forever saving the human race, and not just saving the human race, rising the human race up to high levels where you are beautiful. Listen, why do you think there's so many ETs and celestials around your planet in the light circle? Because they know that the human race has been through a lot of strange things. We look at you sometimes and go, they are very kooky. But your heart survives. Your heart survives. So many are here to study this. How is it that you have been in such a denseness and your heart survives? Beings are here to study your heart. It is your heart that will take you out of the darkness, just like that. And so the ego has been trained to survive in separateness. But I'm telling you, it's not the ego that is bad. The ego has just led you to survive. But I'm telling you something. The ego knows where it will be most satisfied is in the fifth dimension. Is in the fifth dimension. The ego, think what the ego wants. The ego wants acceptance. The ego wants to feel enough. The ego wants to be loved. The ego wants to be enough. The ego wants to, in fact, be magnificent, but not for the sake of survival, for the sake of thrival. And so actually, I'm telling you something very interesting. Your ego can't wait to get to the fifth dimension. Because when it gets there, the ego will take a long nap. It's just the truth. When it is not in the midst of surviving and saying, you're worse, you're better, I'm better, you're worse, all of this stuff you do in your culture, what in the world is going on? Such separation. Why? Because skins are different? You should see the skins on my craft. There are some with polka dots, and they change depending on their mood. No kidding. You know, people always say, why don't you just come down and help us? And I'm saying this, you know, if a praying mantis being came to your door and knocked and you looked up and saw this being green with big eyes, you would scream and run and then faint. You aren't quite ready for this grandness, so you have to begin to accept the differences with your own human race. And when you begin to build the unity field of your human race, you will be ready for us. Because your vibrations will be high enough, guess what? That when we gather, our vibrations are what we feel with each other. We don't feel you look peculiar, big eyes. We don't do that. We feel the beautiful sound that comes out of a mantis body in a vibration, and we pass them in the corridor, and it's like, oh, the tingles of the mantis being, I'm telling you. Just as they click their exoskeletons. It's amazing sound. And so we feel the vibration. We don't see the body. You are so body focused. My. But it's time to release the soul. Now, I want to say something about the life quotient of your planet right now, because there's something a little scary about it. If you look, I said to Marilyn, I want you to look up what your scientists say about the life quotient of Earth. And she goes, I don't think there is such a thing. But I know when you say to look something up, there is such a thing. So she looks it up. Sure enough, I guess the UN, United Nations,
Yes.
has a whole graph that by 2100, the life quotient will be more deaths than life, births. Now, understand what this means. With every death, the light goes. Stays in the hearts of all of you, but the light goes. The soul moves to a new life, to the soul matrix. All kinds of things are happening. And so if there is more deaths than there are births, the light quotient goes down. Plus you are losing species at a fast rate. So every species that leaves Earth takes their light quotient with them. Now, what is happening now are new species are coming to Earth. New species are coming to Earth. You will find them especially in your oceans. Brand new species. Your scientists think they just discovered, but they are brand new species moving in thanks to the water beings and the whales and the dolphins who are bringing them in. So there are new species. But what's most important, why your life quotient is going to go up instead of down, is because of you. Because you are going to open your magnificent light field and shine it so bright, it will bring more species to your planet. They'll go, oh, they're safe now. We can go. We will be watered by their light. And it will bring new life to the planet in ways you can't imagine. And so this is okay. But I tell you this, there are phases to this. Phase 1, with everything about the new realities, the new multidimensional place. Phase 1 is doubt and disbelief. And most of your world is in doubt and disbelief about this ascension. I bet you have friends or family who say, what are you going to this weekend? Why do you bother with this? What, you're going to hear a channel? What is this channel nonsense? Well, let me tell you, it is not nonsense. And so that doubt and disbelief, and you in this room clearly have belief, which means you can move to the next stage, which is consideration. And consideration is blessed. Consideration is where wonder and awe and openness, where you go, let me check this out. You mean I can bilocate, I can remote view, I can do all these things, I can at some point teleportate. Teleportation is simply practicing bilocation enough in your consciousness that finally your body can go with it. All of these things are coming, all of these grand realities. Some of you had these realities when you were little. You did certain things when you were little. You had imaginary friends. They weren't imaginary. And you went to tell your parents, you had 2 friends. They were Pleiadians. I told you, well, you already knew that. And your parents said, that's fine, you're an only child, but, at a certain age, you give them up. And you heard the piano playing all night, and your mother thought you were disturbed and gave you ducks. I don't understand that story too well. But it happens, and so all of you have these repressive things you were told as a child. Some of you were in classrooms, and you were great imaginers. And you were off somewhere, you were bilocating to a place that was much better. Maybe it was the playground or going to the popcorn stand. I don't know. But you were somewhere else, maybe on the craft. But you were there and the teacher says, Johnny, don't go where you are going. And Johnny was like, why? It's so much better. It wasn't good for Johnny. But I'm telling you, you all had these abilities when you were children, and they slowly got snuffed out of you. Not you. I feel like not you. You are coming back to remembrances of what you did as a child that was magnificent, but you were told didn't really exist. Now that you'll have more memories of that, they will be awakened by this diamond light that is coming into the planet and by other humans who are in a magnificent light field. If you are sitting by someone right now who is in their magnificent light field, you're going to feel it next door to you, and it's going to start stimulating. You think I am talking a lot. Well, really what I'm doing is stimulating your light field all over the place. To really grow and come out of hiding and be there. And humans can do this the best. You see, I only will see your magnificent light field. Sometimes you go to people. I said to Marilyn, what is this with therapy? You want to talk about the dark and the traumas and dramas and traumas, and you just reignite the circuitry in the brain that's all about the trauma. No, you're going to quit this. This was 9 years ago. She said, I can't quit it. What? I said, you quit it because we're going to do magnificent light work, you and I. And the only thing we're going to do is to see people and see them and see their magnificent light and tell them all about it, including the missions and their higher incarnations that are here to help them. Oh, it's going to be fun. Thank goodness she said yes. And so it is about seeing each other's magnificent light, not seeing another's light and being jealous, and not seeing others' light and being wishful, but seeing another person's light and holding it with blessed grace, because when you do that, it creates a vibration that magnifies it toward you. This is not a competitive thing where half the population is going to ascend and the other half isn't. That is a ridiculous notion. That's a dualistic notion. And so I am telling you, you are coming into a time of your great light awareness. And it holds. And that, I started to say the phases and consideration of this truth about you. Consider it. I always say for 1 week, consider that you are absolutely magnificent. Then you move into feeling it so much, you know. And then the knowing of it moves to desire. And desire is that you will desire to be it every day, wasting not a moment, but to shed it into the world, changing this earth. You can do this. You are doing it. Look at this expo. 10,000 people, you have to be kidding me. You have no idea the light that is going out of this expo. Now we help a little bit. We take the light, put it into light wheels, and spin it like a frisbee all around the earth. It's quite marvelous what we can do. But I am saying, when you know you're a magnificent light field, here's what happens. You begin to have your gifts that you came into in your soul released. And you all, you're in this room. And if you're in this room, you have come to earth to master the mission of ascension. Don't even pretend. And some of you go, well, maybe for others, but I don't know. I'm just here. I'm curious. But if you're here, your heart spoke to you and brought you here. You rode the slipstream of the synchronistic web and came into this room. Because why? Not because of me, but because of something that was speaking to you from that light, magnificent field, releasing star codes. What are star codes? Star codes are those things that they're little pods inside of you in the etheric range, and they open up and they are maps to various places you have lived in the cosmos. They are maps to your star family. They hold beautiful genomes that you have been so much in the cosmos. They hold genomes, and when they open, those DNA strands that were cosmic begin to combine with your DNA activation, and you become more cosmic and star-led. You have star codes. You have what I call SSMs. You could get my book. It's good. Soul sensory modalities. It is all written in the book. It will, you read a page and life has changed. I just am saying that because I'm not human. I can say that without ego present. It's just about the truth. And so, soul sensory modalities, what are they? They are the ability to bilocate, to remote view, Alan, to do all these beautiful things, to be able to recognize synchronistic cues, so that when you see those synchronicities pop up, you can begin to ride the slipstream where they are taking you. There is a slipstream of synchronicity, and in that slipstream, there is so much abundance for you. But humans, there is so much abundance coming into you, it just bounces off your heads. We see it. Sometimes some of you will stick your head above into the slipstream and you will start seeing 333, 111, the angels are near. Some of you go, I go, yes, the angels are near, but stay there a little bit longer. What are they saying to you? Can you really let yourself feel the magnificence of this cue? What else is opening? There's a portal opening when you see numbers, when you see colors. There are all kinds of portals opening. Here is what I say to Marilyn. Go through the portals. Find yourself in that synchronistic slipstream. That's a soul sensory modality. Telepathy is a soul sensory modality. You will soon, some of you are very telepathic. You know what other people are feeling or thinking. Some of you are, more of you are grand empaths. I had to say to Marilyn, cut off the empath channel, because the problem with being an empath is you connect to a lot of suffering, since suffering is served up as a dish much more than love. And so you connect with the suffering of the planet, and as a result, it comes into you and keeps that circuitry of trauma and separation going. Even as therapist, right? Yeah, you were therapist. And so it keeps that going, that circuitry going. You have old circuitry that is about the separation. And so be careful, you empaths, what you connect to. Instead, connect to the light in others. Be empathic. See it where they don't. Be telepathic about their magnificent skills, their talents, their gifts. Hold it for them. Some of you are grand healers. But let me pause for a moment. Because when you allow yourself the magnificence of your gifts as a human, see, this does not happen, this ascension with us cosmic beings. It can only happen among the humans. And when you have a gift, you create an etheric enzyme that opens other humans' ability to find their gifts. Understand this. When you begin to open your magnificent light field and star codes and SSMs and your gifts, and you manifest your gifts, you are in the middle of manifesting, you create an etheric enzyme that says to the human race, the blueprint of humans are changing enough that other humans now can also be stimulated by you to open their gifts. It has to happen human to human. So now, I'd like to have a human come up here. Stara. Hold on a minute. So we're going to have Anastara come up. We can have that chair here. And now I would like a volunteer to feel a human gift in action. Sure, come. Who said back there they'd volunteer?
Somebody here.
You sit.
I sit.
And so Anastara is this beautiful being that Marilyn and I met on the Galactic Cruise, heard her beautiful gift of sound and voice. You sit right here.
Thank you.
And you will feel it. Beautiful. Anastara is going to bless us with her gift of sound, some of it discovered in the Great Pyramid in Egypt. But right now she is going to give us the gift. And what I want you to do is this. What is your name sitting in front in the chair?
Cindy.
Cindy. I want you just to feel the vibration of her gift going straight through you. And it will be there for days to come to vibrate and open and turn the dial up of more of your gifts. This is how it works. And everybody in the audience, her voice is so beautiful and strong, you will be able to feel the vibrations. Soak them in, for as she is singing the enzymes of magnificence. Okay. Cindy, how did that feel?
Like home. Like community, like unity.
Say it again for everyone to hear.
Felt like home. Felt like community. And it felt like unity.
Give this to her a minute. How did that feel? To be so magnificent in your gifts.
Every time it comes through me, every time I hear it, my whole body shivers and shakes. It's just like truth bumps everywhere. And it's just like an open channel. Open channel. The toroidal field, the giving, the receiving, the Omni somnia katea sato kweda sonako ea tanakatoya singatea and a hey and a hey and a hey and a hoya and a yase and a it's so beautiful. So beautiful.
You are so magnificent.
Without gratitude 2 days on.
But you see, when a human is in the midst of that, it's hard to resist not to take it in. If you are not taking it in, you need to go have that checked, whatever that is. Thank you so much. You know, that was on the main stage in the craft. And you know, people think, oh, is that really true? I'm saying to you, and it's all reverberating in the craft, the human hope in your voice. And when you do that, when you are in your gift, you are in the figure 8 of as above, so below. And that is what is going to change the earth right there. So good. Listen, there is something called light technology. And light technology is so important to understand. For light technology, when you move up into the 5th dimension, some of you have heard this, but it's crucial to hear again. You move into the miracle mantle. There is such abundance and healing in the miracle mantle, and it begins to shower you when you live in the 5th dimension. It showers you with abundance, but it is abundant energy. It is not abundance in money, in finding. Often, sometimes in the beginning, people would come to have a session with me and say, tell me about my love life. And I'd say, tell me about your love life. What you asking me for? Tell me if I'm going to have enough money. I don't know. Are you going to have enough money? Here is the question. Can you be in the miracle mantle where abundant energy comes down and it's utilized in a way that your gifts exactly need? And if that it means you will have money or safety or security or find your loved one, go to the expo. Look around. There's a lot of people who are single. I don't know. I know there was somebody in this room who met each other from last year. Are you still here? Yes. That is awesome, and you are still together.
Yes, we are.
I love it. You came to a retreat of mine.
Yes.
I know. I think that's luscious. So anyway, so I say to you, The light that comes from the miracle mantle. And what is ascension is simply being consciously aware of the vibration in the moment of now. Being aware of the vibration in the moment of now and finding those things where you can raise those vibrations. And then I always hear, well, what are those things? And I want to say to you, every dimension provides the vibrations necessary for the jump to the next dimension. So in the fifth dimension, you will have a lot of merging energetic. For instance, SSM, you can merge consciousness by bilocating. You can do all kinds of merging in terms of love and embracing. You can do this in the fifth dimension. You can merge with another. You can merge with source. And all of that, what moves you towards the sixth dimension, which is a merged consciousness state. Well, in the third dimension, you have vibrational experiences right at your doorstep. Go out in nature. She is already in her fifth dimensional glory. Go eat an orange. You know, oranges were the first fruit to become 5D. So I suggest you eat the orange. I say to Marilyn, you like the cookies? She does. And you like the orange. So put a cookie here, orange there, eat one, then eat the other. Tell me how you feel. And this is vibrational. Sometimes cookies are fine because your body is in a state where it can take out what it doesn't need in all that sugar and chocolate. And sometimes it's not in that state. And you eat it then, and that sugar and chocolate just does weird things to your body, let alone your mood. So be very careful. But an orange? Oh my goodness. It is a beautiful fruit. And now all the citrus that follow the orange into the higher ascension energy. So you have to know you have many, many things in your reality. Love, service, kindness. Why do humans so dismiss kindness? It's beyond me. Non-harm. Embracing. You have so many things that bring you up in vibrations. Choose those things every day. I say to Marilyn, every day, waste not. Go today and find those things in your environment. Go sit in the creek. She says to me, the creek is cold, ZaZar. I go, sit in it anyway. Feel the joy of that cold, you know, and then get in the hot tub and feel the warmth if you must. But you feel nature. You know, at the sanctuary, they have a whole singing tree trail where you go to the trees and you put your little, your phones up to the Q card, or what is it? QR code. And you do that and you hear the trees sing. And that raises your vibration. And the trees are connected all over this globe. And the trees on your planet are already connected to the trees in many of the planets nearby. They already have a communication system. So if you want to link up with the star family, go hug a tree. It might have a link there. So I am telling you, there is so much in the higher vibrational realms right here on Earth. You have each other. Go out there when you leave and just start hugging people. And you say, ZaZar made me do it. And you bring your vibration up. Be careful what you eat. Be careful what you eat. People say, what should I do? What diet? I say, I don't know. What diet? You have so many choices, but you don't utilize your body as the one that knows. Your body knows what feels good and what doesn't. It's just been so dampened that you don't have those vibrational experiences anymore with your body. So begin eating different things, and different people will vibrate with different things that make their body move up in vibration. Now know this ascension journey, you're going to do a lot of weaving. Some of you are grand weavers. You weave all over the map. You're up, and then you're down. And people, maybe your best friends or family, say to you, you got a mood disorder. But the ascension process is exactly that. You're weaving up into 5D feelings and emotions and vibrations, and you're eating different, and you're feeding your mind different. By the way, the human mind is like a pinball machine. We don't care to go close to it. Because it is. You are so fragmented in your attention span. I even have to say to Jen and Diane, put your cell phones down. You are fragmented, but I know you have a lot of things to do now with the ZaZar cause, but put down your phones and your electronics, because you will become more and more of a ping pong mind. I won't even be able to talk with you. And this is how fragmented the mind is. The mind needs to be still and calm. And what that does is makes new circuitry into the frontal cortex. And what does the frontal cortex eventually do? Makes a connection to the heart. And guess what grew this whole brain thing in the womb? Was your heart. It was the first organ, and it grew into a brain. And so your heart has more neurons, if you want to talk science, than your brain. It's just that you haven't discovered all that. Your heart holds the wisdom. And eventually humans will evolve so they will be able to hook back into their heart, and the heart will lead the brain. But the brain has to be quiet, because the brain holds all the circuitry of all your old paradigm. And it will get triggered like that. So as you go up in your ascension, you will have tripwires where you will be stimulated back in the old circuitry. Be careful of this. Have handy things available so you can go right back into those higher vibrational activities. And that, what I call the cosmic diet. What do you feed your mind? Don't be watching so much. What is this with all the TVs? And then people watch, and I watch, and it's like, what are you watching a movie afterwards? You are crying so much. Is it a good movie with the heart, or is it's devastating? If it's for the heart, okay. But be careful what you feed yourself. Be careful what you feed your heart. Some people, I've had session with them. They say, ZaZar, every day I suffer. I go, what are you suffering? Because I'm in touch with all the suffering. I go, what are you doing being in touch with all the suffering? What is this? You're being in touch. Oh, but people are suffering in LA and this and that. Yes, people are suffering. But if you're going to be the one with the light, you have to, for a while, fence yourself off from the suffering. So you can build, you think it's easy to build your light quotient as a human with all this gunk on you. No, it's not. But you can begin to build your light, and for a little bit, you have to take a break from the densities of Earth and your human species. And that may be at times you take a break from family and friends, just a little bit, so that you can raise your light quotient, because you have to be the one. You have to be the one. You are the ones in this room. And there are no other ones except ones like you in this conference. But if you aren't the ones, I want you to tell me who is. You are the ones. And so raise your light quotient. Take that sovereignty to know you know how to do this. You don't have to read diets. You don't have to read even how to meditate. You can sit and begin to quiet the mind because you have the wisdom. It's just been buried in you. And so when you begin to take in this higher light, guess what happens? You open these portals to the light coming into your planet. And what does that stimulate? Smart light is coming in. And smart light, it knows exactly where to go in you. It knows how to heal you. It knows how to feed you. It knows how to elevate you. It's smart light. But you have to have your magnificent light field open enough to have the smart light enter. And then it begins to help you. And then you move up in timeline jumps. And then you begin to move up in your parallel life. And eventually your highest parallel life is an ascended life. This is where you are headed. This is so exciting. Oh, okay. I'm being tapped, which always happens. So, this is a grand time on earth to bring your magnificent light field with all your gifts to purpose. Waste not a moment. Find those vibrational experiences that make you feel high, that make you feel, why do you think there is sex, drugs, and rock and roll? It was humans' attempt to be in a unity field, to take the drugs to make all the outside go away and to be in bliss. To dance into bliss, rock and roll. I think it's a good thing We dance all the time. And when we dance, we do a unity dance. And when we do that, an energy field gets formed and heals everybody in the room. This is what unity community does. And this is where you are headed. You are headed to become a unified race. And the power that will come from the unity community of humans together, appreciating your differences and your uniqueness and your gifts, having a place for everybody's gifts, knowing the whole mosaic of everybody, each gift is needed to keep it intact. This is where you are headed. This is where many species live. I'm so excited to be here at this point in time. A quick note about disclosure, because it is coming around the corner. There were some ETs who, as scientists, wanted to see whether human brain structure could tolerate contact. They found out not so good, because what was stimulated in the human was fear. And when fear gets stimulated, your whole ability to see the truth diminishes. And so what happened is they had a lot of contact. You would call them abductions, and people would come back in total fear states. And that created a wave of being afraid to know you live in a cosmic home. Many people are now having memories. It wasn't really traumatic. But it's going to open up all of you having more memories of contact yourself. There's more ETs now walking on Earth. It is happening as we speak. There are crafts above your Earth right now. As you develop your soul sensory modalities to see the invisible realms, you will begin to see them. Some of you already see them. They are there. They are beautiful beings. There is not any more harm to be talked about. And as you raise your abilities to see, you will see these crafts in the sky. You will have contact. You will know the truth of your brethren who live in space. And as you have contact, you will know the truth that you are from the stars. Period. Where do you think you are from? You are from the stars. And you will begin to open up the truth of these star DNAs that are coming into action right now in a lot of you, because I am sending those vibes too, to open up your DNA that is cosmic. And so this is coming right around the corner, but it is up to you. Can you begin to see the truth? Can you begin to see your truth? And can you begin to know that being in a unity community is the only way? And in this room right now, I want to do a chant. It's the Omni chant. Some of you are familiar. And it goes like this. Omni Ma means I bow sacredly to my magnificent field. Omni Za, I bow sacredly to this unity field in this room. Omni Ra, I bow sacred to all that is. Omni Ah, I bow in bliss to it all. So I ask you to join the chant. Now know this, when you join the chant, you are creating sound that will be dispersed around your entire globe. You are creating sound that will be dispersed as healing light to LA. But first, let's do the chant for you to take in the light from hearing all the humans in this room in unity sound with this magnificent chant. So follow me. Omni Ma. Omni Ma. Omni Za. Omni Za. Omni Ra. Omni Ra. Omni Ah. Omni Ah. For LA. Omni Ma. Omni Ma. Omni Za. Omni Za. Omni Ra. Omni Ra. Omni Ah. Omni Ah. For the whole world. Together, all together with me. Omni Ma. Omni Za. Omni Ra. Omni Ah. to your cosmic brethren who are right above the earth. Let's do it so they hear the vibrations. Ready? Omni Ma, Omni Za, Omni Ra, Omni Ah. So, you start one. Omni Ma, Omni Za, Omni Ra, Omni Ah. Ready?
Amniva.
Omniza.
Omnia.
You are such in the unity. I love it. I love it. You ended up sitting here the whole time.
Better than standing on.
Better than standing. I love it. You are so beautiful. You are so wonderful. Feel my heart sending you magnificence from the heavens. I would like to know if you have a question or two. Question or two. Yes.
Firstly, thank you. I had a really big experience when you said the spaceship was overhead. I saw it, and a huge light came down through my whole body, and I was shaking. And I remembered when I was a child, I had a flash of light come in and hit me on the head, and I thought I was hit by lightning, and I was just crying. And I'm wondering, is that you? I just had the memory, yeah.
That was us. See how open you are to feel the craft right now. Come. Look at her. So beautiful. So beautiful. Let it remember. You were there. Yes. You are so from the stars. The golden tears of the heart are so beautiful. You know now. You know now. Thank you. What you see right here is what you're really seeing is in here. Thank you.
Thank you.
What she experienced, when she looked at me, she was seeing my projection of her. You think you see me? I'm all over the room. How can you see me? Oh. Everybody, now no one wants to ask another question, maybe. Yes.
I've been experiencing voices, and a dimensional being is in my body, or feels like it is all the time, and it's harming my energy, and I don't know what to do about it.
We cannot have this. Are you ready to let it go?
Yes, I am.
It does not belong with you. It got mixed up. It's not harmful. It just got a little mixed up. Your energy, I want you to feel your magnificent field right now. I want you to feel the light. It is all through you. Feel the light, feel your light, not it. Feel your light. Let your light come. Let your light come. It's good. Let your light come. I want to do something right now, okay? Now. It's gone. I put a light shield around you. It's gone. If you feel any remnants, you're too powerful. You bring this up and you make it go. Just be remnants now. So, when you are going to be healers, you first open up the light field. You then open up the receptor sites for the highlight, and you create a figure 8. And as you fill them with such light, it is smart, and it removes what needs to be removed. Who else?
I'm having a hard time getting my own answers, and I'm asking others for help, and they are agreeing to help and then leaving me.
Who, you mean other humans or other beings?
Other humans.
What do you mean they leave you?
And they resign and they do not help me as they said they would.
Do you know why?
No.
Hold this. I'm going to tell you, she says she has beings to help her, and they leave. You have been given a gift, and the gift, what is your name?
Laura.
Laura. You have all of this help within you. And if they were to help you, they make you to feel less sovereign. And instead of feeling abandoned, I want you to understand that they're giving you a gift to discover your own sovereignty. And you are sovereign, and you have these answers within you, in your solar plexus, in your heart, and in your mind. You are the one you have been waiting for. They have just done you this favor. You have not been lost by them. You are going to be found by you. Oh my goodness. I see this magnificence. You're going to know things now. Let me do something. Now. Okay, thank you. Who else? It doesn't mean you have to go through all that.
Hello. As a child, I experienced visits, and I would receive these downloads before download was even a terminology. And then about 7 years ago it stopped, but it was like my whole life, and I'm just wondering who they are and what the experience really was, because I felt so much love, but at the same time just curious and questions.
So she wonders who they were, those that came and gave her downloads. They just went away for a while, and instead of asking the question, who are they want you to ask the question, who are you? Do you realize who you are to get downloads before downloads was a thing? It's funny about humans. Your magnificent ooze is everywhere out. Your magnificent ooze is out when you were little. You get downloads and downloads. You had a lot to digest. First of all, these beings are beautiful, and they are leaving room for this digestion. Instead of missing them, miss the part of you that they gave you. And those downloads are going to come more and more online, but don't wish for them. They just gave you and opened a part of you that needed to be here on earth. And that is you. Okay? Yes. They will come back when you are fuller of you.
Recognize me?
Yes.
I've written several books on the New Earth. I actually have you in my second book. Remember I interviewed you?
Yes.
Ever since I kind of came out with my superpowers and my abilities, my family is calling me like a charlatan. And I have not spoken to them in several years. And I've spent several holidays alone. But the universe granted me the most amazing poetry. I'm a muse, I'm a daughter of Zeus. I'm here to deliver this news. Author C.W. Lewis of Chronicles of Narnia says, God speaks to the minds of poets. This is what comes out of me, pent-up artistic poetry. And it goes on for 20 minutes. And I talk about the universe and God and extraterrestrials. And I'm here to share this knowledge. And my family has completely rejected it. So I just kind of wanted to know.
Say your name again.
Noelle Hipkey.
Oh, Noelle, it's you. You know, in the interview, so much of the time my eye is closed. My eye. And so, hello. Now this is a good one. Let me say this. When you are bringing in a new paradigm, don't expect everybody that still lives in the old paradigm to welcome the new paradigm, because you are here to upset their old paradigm. That's exactly why you are here. And so you are going to upset their old paradigm. Many of you will have families leaving you, spouses thinking you are crazy. If you are lucky to find a spouse who is also crazy, good. Everybody in this room is not crazy. I tell you that right now. I take your temperature to make sure. But you know well, you do not stop. You are on the cutting edge. And when you are on the cutting edge, you know that you are by the very rejection you feel. And that is a clue that you are not crazy, but in fact you are bringing in the new modalities of the new realities. You are bringing in new poetry. You are bringing in new words that hold new vibrations. And they will think you're a little crazy. Well, look at you. You got the ET antennas. And I say to you, we will invite you on our ship in 1 second. Because of who you are and what you are willing to do. And yes, it is a fight. And yes, you have to give up some things. But know this, you are the Galileos. You are the Galileos. It took 300 years for science to agree with Galileo that the sun was in the middle. You got to be kidding. This is how but we don't have time now in the human race to wait 300 years. So now you say, I will find my new family. They are right here. You find your yes. And it is true, you find your new family, you come to all these expos and you feel like you're not so kooky after all. And it is a sad thing, but you are just, listen, I tell you this. So someday, you are the ones to go to some new planet called the New Earth. And you leave your family behind. And they realize as the earth is burning up that you knew it all along. And they finally get on the last ship to the new earth. And when they come and they see you like this, they get down on their knees and they say, I wish we would have known what you knew. I am telling you. Okay. Yes.
During the opening ceremony, I had a lot of visuals. I saw a blue being with stark white hair kind of just reach out their right hand to me and came to me in a dream. And I woke up feeling not rested at all. I do remote viewing and things like that, not on purpose. I've had a lot of experiences that there's no time to talk about it. I just want to know, what can I do with that? And who might that be?
So again, it is beautiful. Know this. You are so open. I see your portal so open. You are so open. First thing you want to do is feel the blessing that this being came to you. Humans want to know, who is it, right away. Marilyn did too. Who are you? Didn't know. I played with her on the ship when she was little yet. But I want to say, first you feel the blessed, magnificent field you have in the portal you have opened for this being to come through. Yes, I see that. 1 minute. Okay, I can read. So, okay, you first get into your own vibrational field. When that happened, feel that signature and go back to that signature and say to this being, I welcome your vibration. Many beings who come to you will want you to know their vibration before you know their name or where they're from. That's a human thing. Which universe are you from? What planet are you from? Many people who come to me say, what planet was I from? It's not important. What's important is the vibration that you have so open. Invite that vibration of this blue being. I know him. Sometimes it's she, sometimes it's he. It's great. They are shapeshifters. So invite it in. We have to end, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so, so much. Blessings to all of you.